Our next speaker, Judi Dressler. She's been in Colorado since January of 1973, has been photographing the Colorado outdoors while hiking and skiing here for many years. A year and a half ago, she hung a bird feeder on her back deck and got bird poop all over her, and found herself mesmerized by the birds that came, visited, and the feeders multiplied to 6. Keeping the squirrels away from the bird seed was fixed by giving them their own feeder. Photographing the birds was a challenge. Judi has been entertained daily by the wonderful variety of birds that live near her backyard. Watching them interact with each other has been so much fun. We actually had 2 falcons in our backyard, and the interaction got a little ugly. We no longer had little birds. My wife would run out and I'd hear this scream and I'd see little bird bodies. So you got to watch that interaction thing. It can get a little ugly. But anyway, some birds are communal, travel mainly in groups, while others are quite solitary. They interact with one another to some degree to access the bird feeder. Photographing the birds has taught Judi a lot. Stealth and speed is required since the birds fly extremely fast. The smaller the bird, the faster the move, which makes it difficult to capture the shot. So remember, if you're small, you're fast. If you're big, you're slow. Anyway, the title of her presentation is Backyard Bird. Let's give Judi a welcome here. If you need a pointer, there's that.
Well, thank you very much. I'm excited to show you some of my bird pictures. This is my back deck here. You can see some of them interacting with a little dove in the front there, and a flicker, and a starling, and there's some finches. This was taken at Warrenburg Fishing Pond, which is just behind my house in the open space back there. I got there about 3:30 or 4 o'clock. When the Canada geese like to take off for land, you can see this goose here just taking off. You can see him running across the water, the splashes there. And they're very communal. They love to just chatter and honk when a bird is arriving or when they're taking off. This was taken at Bar Lake State Park, thousands of them at once, and you can imagine the noise. I don't know how they don't crash into each other while they're taking off. Pretty amazing. So just really fun to watch them, and there you can go there anytime. They have all kinds of other varieties of birds. These are European starlings. As you can see, they're very sociable, taking a communal bath there together. They travel in groups. They're pretty much always in groups, although sometimes solitary. They like to fight with each other. They fight over the bird feeders. They fight over just about everything. But they can also be sweet to each other. You can see up here, these two are this is mating season. Even though it's snowing, it was April of last year, and so they're being sweet to each other. This one's here coming in for a landing. I don't know how to work this thing over here, but anyway, you can see him coming in for a landing there. This is a Eurasian collared dove. She's with her mate all the time. The mate is probably in the tree or someplace nearby. She just landed over here in this dish, and so she's got her wings up still. But she may also be showing that starling that she's in control, and they sometimes put their wings up to show who's in charge. Here's a mating couple. This is in July, and they're being really sweet to each other during breeding season, although sometimes 2 or 3 of them will fly over to the deck, and one of them, I think it's the male, just will peck at the females till they completely have to leave the deck altogether so that he can eat all by himself, and only then they're allowed to return. The next few pictures are of the little birds, the finches and sparrows. Here's a sparrow trying to join the starling. I think the water was just too deep for him to go in there because I've never seen them. I've only seen starlings and robins taking baths pretty much. But he's definitely trying to be friendly. Here's another little sparrow trying to be friendly and join the party there with the robin, but the robin won't hear of it. He's definitely soundly telling him, "No way. You leave, it's my bath time right now." So these little birds, as was mentioned, they're hard to catch because they're so incredibly fast. I barely focus, and then they're flying away. But poor little finch. Actually, the squirrel doesn't really eat finches for dinner, but it kind of looks that way. And this finch was so surprised that he practically fell in the water. And you can see his feathers are a little damp there as he's trying to get away real quickly. These finches and finches and sparrows are very, very friendly and sociable. Here are a bunch of goldfinches. Someone told me, put out Niger seed and they will come, and that's what I did, and that's the Niger seed. Sometimes, this was taken in March, sometimes there would be 8 of them at the same time on this little bag trying to eat. And they're so beautiful. So if you want to see goldfinches, put out Niger. This is the last picture of, you can see this sparrow here trying to join the finches. I call it dropping in for conversation, like a little cafe clutch, you know. And then I love this sparrow on the right here. He looks so determined, doesn't he, and tough. Yeah, it was a lucky shot because I can't possibly focus on a bird flying at me. And grackles, who hasn't seen maybe hundreds of grackles take over their yard and their trees, and they just swarm the whole place and take over the feeding dish and eat everything. Here's a grackle fluffing up his feathers in a courting gesture, and he puts his beak up in the air and makes a squealing noise. Blue jays are one of my absolute favorite birds. They usually travel only solitarily or with another bird or 2 or 3 or 4. And they love peanuts. They love, the squirrel food. And they'll dive down and get a peanut that's only like within a couple of feet of me. They are amazing. They can copy the sounds of other birds. They can copy hawk sounds. Sometimes I think they do it to scare away other birds. And they copy my own whistle. So I've heard them do my whistle out in the tree, calling me to give them peanuts. So this one looks kind of like a Spanish dancer, doesn't he? This seagull was taken just over Wanaka Lake. I was out there hiking around. It was terribly windy. I really didn't think I'd see any birds at all, but there was a group of about 15 or 20 very sociable seagulls just swooping and diving, probably trying to catch some insects, but they looked like they were having just so much fun. The robin is, different robins come every morning to drink out of the bird bath. They don't eat anything. I've tried giving them all kinds of food, berries and worms. They don't touch it, but they come and drink water. And I can go out on the deck and they'll stay there. They don't fly away. They let me get pretty darn close, which is why I got that close picture. On everybody's favorite list is the northern flicker woodpecker. This is a male. You can see by his red spot there on his face. And I put those pictures of him flying because I just love the orange flash of their wings when they fly. Just so beautiful. And this is a little downy woodpecker. That's a female. The male also has a little red patch on his head. She's very acrobatic. She can walk straight down or straight back up again. And quite small, just a little bit bigger maybe than a sparrow. And this one will actually stick around if I come out. It depends on the bird, but just beautiful. Whoops, the hummingbird that was over here is gone, but this little chickadee, so sweet. I just love watching her just fly back and forth between the feeder and the tree, and she hums a little songs, just, flying back and forth and humming to herself and just having the greatest time. And this is the bird, as you were saying, that makes all the other birds disappear. He actually killed a grackle earlier and is back for more. This is a juvenile Cooper's hawk. He's this time was looking for a squirrel snack, but that wasn't going to happen. The squirrels were way too fast for him. But I was so excited having him land on my deck. Well, thank you very much.
That's the guy who cleaned out my backyard.